Welcome to Compton Crawford and the Jersey Guy. I'm Lewis here with Kenny and your favorite Jersey Guy, Tom. Get ready for another round of real talk, crazy stories, and everything in between. This time, though, Tom is not feeling well. He's under the weather, so it's going to be just Kenny and I today, and we'll get going on it. What's going on, man?
Nah, I'm shabby. Everything pretty spiffy. Sad Tom's still feeling funky, bro. That sucks, doggy nuts.
Yeah.
You know. Well, hope you're feeling better, Tom. Love, peace, and hair grease to you over there. Yeah. Stay healthy. Good thing you stayed over there. I don't want to get sick yet. It's all good. It's all good. So what up, bro?
Yeah, so
today's episode.
This podcast is going to be on foods that are banned in other countries.
But we can have them here.
In other words, So we have food here that other countries ban. They're not allowed to sell certain foods here. They have to either change it or they can't sell it at all. Right. Usually is the case.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they have to do more natural, lean more towards subtracting stuff that shouldn't be in there.
Right.
But they'll still sell it that way to us here in the United States.
So before it goes over there, we have to make sure that it's to their standards. Right. Yeah.
Which they should just do that here as well. But
it depends on what the
that's
standards
what we're
are.
gonna get into.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing is. Yeah. So and it's funny because talking to different people and especially with Tom, we talk about the veganism and stuff. So he's eating healthier than we are just by that alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
According to what he says, you know what I mean?
Right.
But still, either way, not even thinking about the stuff that's in a lot of the foods that we eat.
Right. We just go, we get it.
Yeah, just go get it. It's whatever. Some people now, when we get to our age, we're a little bit more, I guess we'll say, conscious, and we read the box, or the cans a little bit more now. Looking for less sugar,
certain things,
less sodium,
less sodium. How much sodium's in it?
Right.
It's the first thing you ask.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny note, so the other day I went to the doctor and I came back with pretty much a clean bill of health. I'm like, woohoo, what? And I've been watching what I've been eating. I don't eat half as much sugar as I used to. The arthritis is still kicking up, but he says that whatever I'm doing, keep doing it.
That's good.
The only thing, right. He says, so the only thing that was like a point or two high was my cholesterol and my
mine was a little high too, but it
and
was
my
like 80 something.
The glucose and the sugar. So the sugar, so instead of it being, like I forgot what the
sugar
number
was
is.
high?
By 1 point.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not bad.
Right. So then
I'll take that.
All fucking day. Hell yeah. So I'm only like one point over for the sugar and 2 points for the Jesus Christmas, the cholesterol.
Yeah, I was a couple over cholesterol as well.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing, which was good.
Right.
And my my blood pressure was good. All that was good.
Yeah.
It was super nice and low, and everything. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. So now with all that,
right?
It's that saying. So
we
that
got that
now,
in our head,
right? So then now, what is it that we are eating that we probably shouldn't be eating here? Right. That's in our foods that we don't even pay any attention to because, like, I was bugging out. So people know all I did was do a Google search, and ban foods and foods that are banned in other countries but not in the United States, right. And one of my most favorite candies ever was Skittles. And here it is that Skittles is banned in the EU because the Skittle contains yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40.
Because of the dyes that are in them.
Right. So those are the dyes, which are linked to hyperactivity in children, migraines, and hives.
Yes.
I got freaking migraines, bro. I get bad freaking headaches.
Right.
And I didn't even know that until I read this. For me with my headaches, I'm looking at, the arthritis. I'm looking at, now mind you, again, I stopped eating like 95% of the sugars that I had eaten, say 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
I'm just bugging out that Skittles is on there.
Yeah, because of that, because they don't want to, it's too much money for them to use the natural stuff.
Right. So what would be a natural coloring though for food? You know what I mean? Like
you can mix almost anything and make a color with food coloring.
Oh well, true, yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they do overseas.
Oh right, duh.
So when they do it for them, they change
the recipe.
They have to use natural dyes.
Got it.
That you can make from natural, fruit, vegetables, whatever's that you're.
I want to go over there just to get the Skittles and just see what it is, bro.
Yo, it's crazy when you think about it, right? So if that's that way, what about soap and deodorant and
Yeah.
because if they can do it with food, how much more is it? Like you do have to look at that. Like now, deodorant.
Right.
I use what's the woman on TV all the time? You can put it anywhere. Deodorant. She has a men's line now. I probably can't even say the name, but either way. So I use that deodorant, and there's no aluminum in it, anything like that. So which is really good.
Yeah, I'll say it. Lumi. That's the one.
Right.
Yeah, Lumi. Yeah. I said it. That was a little shout out for Lumi. So. That's what it was. But see, so now dig it. Then that Mountain Dew is banned in Japan and parts of Europe because it previously contained a flame retardant which has been linked to ADHD, autism, memory loss, and nerve issues. So, I mean, again, it's what the hell? Like, seriously? Mountain Dew.
Norway and Austria banned foods like Twinkies, Kraft Mac, and cheese for their artificial dyes and trans fats.
See? Now, I'm looking at, it's Coffee Mate, Ritz crackers, and Pillsbury biscuits. Banned in Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Denmark because of the trans fats.
Wow.
So, I mean, again, it's things that we never even thought of, and we're just like, yeah, these are cool little snacks and whatnot.
Right.
And now here we are.
But we're ingesting these things along with it. Right. So now it's stuff that we don't really need.
Fair enough. Right. So now what do we do? How should we?
You have to change your routine. You got to
start reading these things, like start paying attention.
Right.
Because,
and then you know what you can and what you can't use or should use.
What, man, listen, I haven't had Twinkies. Now, don't forget. So
I won't eat a Twinkie ever again, bro.
Well, but no, I won't eat Twinkies again because they...
I'll do funny bones, but I don't know about a Twinkie, bro.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, Hostess went out of business or bankrupt or whatever, and then somebody else went in and bought them out, but then bought them back. And that some of they left the recipes the same from what I understand.
Right.
But I haven't had a chance. I haven't gone and tried it. But again, because I had changed the way I'm eating.
Right.
I'm like, do I really want to go and do that? Like right now, my biggest vice is because I'm lactose intolerant. I do lactate ice cream. And lactate
you got to be able to enjoy it.
What's the Ben & Jerry's? The Ben & Jerry's, the dairy, lactose-free, dairy-free,
I didn't know they had it.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, but they all do now. They all have their own brand.
Man, listen.
Let's see.
It's awesome. It is insane. I love it. But that's my only vice right now. So, I try to stay away, cut back how often I eat it because of the sugars in it. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, bro. It is just plain crazy. The things that you just never even thought about that, again, have the trans fats that other countries ban them in. So then when we're exporting all of our stuff, it's almost like our companies have to have two factories. You know what I mean?
No, not necessarily. Right. Like they have to, but they don't. They just have to change the recipe and use instead of what they are using, and you take it out and you put the natural replacements in. So, well, they have a line that just does that, like you're saying, within the factory.
Right. Yeah. And I never paid no mind. That's what we probably look up in a minute. But what were you going to
I wonder if we can get those brands here, though. That's the question.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
But you probably have to order it because you're not going to find it on the shelf.
You probably have to find it from a store overseas.
Yeah, I have to order it from Europe.
To send it back
to come here. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That is freaking hilarious. What are we going to read? I thought you saw something there.
No.
Because, and even with that, why is it that all natural foods cost so much more? Because to me, and I knew the answer to that. I forgot it right now. I'm having a brain fart because I got a headache because I had some Skittles the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah. No, I'm only kidding. That's not why I got a headache. But so, I forgot what the logistics were monetarily over why it is that it's cheaper to pay why it's cheaper to buy foods that have all these extra things in them. Like the all natural foods are more expensive.
Right.
And I'm saying, but that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but once it's in big demand and it gets to that point, like it is with the food that's now, then it'll just flip.
Right, but it just bugged me out because I'm like, you're not paying all that money for the chemicals to keep the
right. They're giving that to you for free.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense, Right. And I wish it wasn't like that.
It's unfortunate, but it is. But that's the problem because there's the regulations in this country. They have to go to Congress and all that. I'm sure. Like people do actually go into conferences and things of that nature about this. It's definitely being debated.
Right.
and making sure, and they bring up the same thing. They bring up the same fact that here in this country, and they mention certain foods. Like, for example, here, McDonald's French fries.
Dude.
In the U.S. include more extensive list of ingredients compared to the European counterparts. In the U.S., the fries are made with 14 ingredients, such as natural beef flavor, natural beef flavor, which contains hydrolyzed wheat and milk, foaming agent, an anti-foaming agent, preservatives like TBHQ. In contrast, fries are Europe, particularly in the UK, are simpler. Consists of just potatoes, vegetable oil, and sugar dextrose. That's it. Three things.
See?
3 things.
Yeah, I don't understand why that isn't like that for us.
That's
here.
crazy.
That doesn't make sense. So now the
McDonald's,
reason why,
bro. Right.
I know,
So,
but see, McDonald's fries,
but
bro, they're freaking
you know what they do
amazing.
with their potatoes too, right?
Oh no! Wait, what?
They look it up. They bleach. They do something to them, and they have to be kept at a certain spot. You can't be around them when they do this process, because they want them to be a certain way. They only get certain potatoes.
That I knew.
And they make sure they don't want them to have blemishes on them and all this other stuff. So they do something in order to get. But you can't. I think you got to wait like a day before you can go get them or something like that.
I'm going to put that in a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I was looking.
I think Tom spoke about this once before.
Yeah, he did. He probably did. So it's, organic food is more expensive than conventionally grown food for several reasons. Production costs. Organic farming practices are more labor intensive and use more expensive materials than conventional farming. So organic farming uses more traditional methods like hand weeding in the crops and stuff like that, and crop rotation. So they moving from this, from these 4 acres to that 4 acres and whatnot.
Right.
Organic farming uses natural fertilizers, organic animal feed, other materials that are more expensive than synthetic and chemical materials, which again, I don't understand. If it costs more money to make these chemicals and mix them and to get them, to me, that was my initial thought.
Right.
Because of how much money it would cost
For some reason, it's cheaper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. They're not paying as much they would, because it does cost more for the stuff you just said. It costs it costs you and I a lot.
Yeah.
It also costs them a lot.
And that's why I'm surprised.
But until it comes mainstream.
But it's the labor.
At some point it will, it'll flip.
That's what I'm saying. So for this, it just seems like the labor is what costs more, because you have now it's them having again.
Because they have to get
they have to be out there. They have to go out there and actually do the weeding. They have to go out there and actually take care of the animals and stuff like that. Right. Organic farms don't use GMOs. Modified organisms, GMOs. There's less land for organic farms, typically have less than the conventional farm. So, regular farm has, 150 acres, and organic farms are, maybe 10. So they can't rotate the same way that the bigger farms would. The synthetic pesticides, that alone is crazy. Certification costs, supply and demand, specialized farming, small scale production, record keeping. These are all the things that make it more expensive. And that's crazy, man, because then I'm almost like, well, what the hell? These are things that I thought that you would have to do with your regular, animals and stuff, regular farming and such. So obviously we're getting gymped.
Right. They're saying, hey, I don't care about the American health.
Right.
I'm just more concerned about making money.
Yeah.
And that's their aim. There's no concern about their consumers or anything like that. Obviously not. I mean, if they're putting that stuff in it. But we're guilty if we're going to continue to consume that stuff, right? If you continue to consume it, you can't really complain about it. So,
I don't know.
But not that we do it on a regular. I'm sure, but now that we know, we're like, oh, do I really want to have that now? Because it's got crap on it. Like you said, Skittles earlier.
Right. Well, I haven't done this in a while. Play devil's advocate. So now, if you turn around and we already know that there's not enough land, space, places for organic.
They just can't afford that much. So the other ones can.
That's what I'm saying. So then they charge more, but now there's not enough. So now if everybody decides they're going to go organic,
right?
How they're going to pay for all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are they going to be able to keep up? So we know that in regular, like we said, something that we had spoken to Tom about before was that they were giving the animals steroids and stuff
You'd
to
have
make
to
them
stop
bigger.
all of that.
Right. So that then now there's not enough animals and they're not big enough. is there really going to be enough?
Well, that's a whole other subject.
Right, exactly. So that
So
then,
we really,
you know,
yeah. So, but I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying because it just goes. It's like a avalanche.
yeah, it's one crazy. It's more than an avalanche, you know. And then even
it's a
listening
boulder
to,
rolling down, just getting bigger and bigger as it's going down the mountain.
right, exactly. Because like even with Tom talking about flavored tofu and stuff like that, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and the tofu turkey and stuff.
I'm
get
sure
that.
at some point it's gonna. I would think they'll be able to, the best that they can, shift it over. But it would happen gradually. It wouldn't happen right away. It's not something that's going to happen right away.
Right.
It would definitely happen gradually through the years. It will increase the way it should. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not like one big shot. Oh, these 3 years, boom, they took over kind of thing. No, not like that.
Right,
I'm
right,
seeing
definitely.
it more of a long-term thing that by the time we're older or gone,
right.
it will already start having more positive effects.
Yeah, I hope so because
And people will start paying attention and go. And I think the other
hope so.
generations who will come around, hopefully, will be a little smarter than we were.
Yeah,
And,
because they thought that we were smarter too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When
Well,
we
in
were all
certain
like,
aspects. In certain aspects. So in other words, it's like our kids, right? So I look at it like this: you want your kids to be better than you, right?
right,
You want them to do better than you, and it doesn't matter, if they do, because you're proud of that and you want
right,
them.
exactly.
So I look at it in the same sense as far as the next generation, hoping that, hey, these guys, hope they're going to be the ones who make that, they go the extra step. Now, they're not, you know what I mean? Like,
right. I
they've
get
learned from it.
Yeah.
They're like, now we're not doing this anymore, but we're going to keep doing this. And
I get that part.
So hopefully at some point, the world, not just the country, but I think the world. And I think America won't be anywhere close to in the top 10. They'll be later on down the line. They'll be the last to catch up. They will. They will. Absolutely. We're so money hungry here, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I get it. But if we start to adapt a lot of those,
I'm saying, but then time
things,
it will take. They would have to do the same thing, and
I think it would be more. But I think
they'll be last.
Well, because other countries are already doing that.
Right.
For
they're already
us,
ahead. There's a lot of them that are already doing a lot of things.
I think
which is natural. I mean, that's just
right. But they've always been, everything that I've ever read and or heard about in a lot of these other countries is they've always been more natural. They've eaten simpler foods, if you will. It's all about the fishing and the rices, the pastas and stuff like that.
The bread is better.
The bread is better. Like just the way that it's made is different and whatnot.
You're not getting all that other crap that comes with it.
But again,
it's unnecessary.
But we supply so much of the world with what we have also. You know what I mean? With our we just supply a lot of it with food, the grains and some of the meats and stuff.
We do everything. There's mass production of it.
Right.
I mean, to the point where this is where Tom comes in.
Right.
Where
we miss
the animals are so misused and abused. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Because there's no mindset to the point where it's a living thing. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
We need this. The attitude is, but that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a shitty thing. Hopefully we do get to a point where, the country will be probably more vegan as well. That'll take probably longer. But
definitely.
But it will happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll come sooner because Tom knows better than I. I'm not a vegan, so I don't know.
Right.
So he would know what everything that's going on. So I would imagine Tom saying, no, I think it's going to be earlier. So I'm going to take B. B? All right, Lewis. Wait till next week.
Yeah, no lie. That is freaking
But
hilarious.
yeah, I think it's good for the country to know about this stuff and then leave it up to the consumer to make the adjustments. And that's when everybody starts doing it.
Right.
Everybody starts doing certain things.
Yeah, we all need to do that. We all got to take responsibility for
but I'm saying,
for how we eat or how we don't eat and all that other good stuff. So yeah, you're 1,000,000% right,
Yeah.
And I think that we are getting more more conscious of what and how we're eating.
Right.
We're getting a little bit healthier and
paying more attention to things.
Right. Yes.
Not taking things for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Because of all the things that are coming out that are, I remember for a while, I don't even know, this is one of those, the rumors, about there was pieces of plastic that were in the rice, the mashed potatoes.
The bottles of water, you have
microplastics in them and stuff like that. Like
they say they find
these things.
Plastics in people's hearts when they're doing surgery.
Yeah. So you know,
crazy, bro.
it's insane.
So that's why we need to, if we're going to survive on this planet,
right.
That's why when I say America, because for us it's more about money right now. We're not out of that. It's going to take a few generations to get past that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because it will happen.
Right.
It's just we got to wait.
Yeah.
And like I said, you and I may not be around for it. We might be in the beginning of it, but which is fine.
Yeah, but
I'll be able to witness it
in
hopefully.
the beginning of everything, anyways.
Right, that's true.
We're
That's
the
true.
ones that are,
But I think it'll be good. A good thing in general. I think those generations will come and they'll make the adjustments and they'll protest and do what they have to do and fight for what they want and make the changes and fight for the planet at the same time, because it really is what is taking care of us and we're just shitting all over it.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is. It's wild. Like, and we never even didn't think about it when we were younger. Like I said, I was eating Skittles, bro, by the fistful.
You know what? They may have been what I would like to know is, when did they start using that? So maybe they didn't use it in the beginning, and switched over to that, which is even worse than just starting out with that.
Right, well, fair enough, yeah. But look at cigarettes. People say, cigarettes, they didn't have to put the...
they put certain things in it to make you addicted to it.
Right, but I'm saying, but they didn't have to put the warning on the cigarettes, after people had already been smoking for like 100 years. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
But it was always on there.
It didn't have to be. That's what I'm saying. Like it was to certain people that they had to put the warning on for it. It was like for pregnant women.
Oh, they always said that. Every time I smoked cigarettes, the side of the pack on every pack of cigarettes, whether it was Newport, Marlboros, Marlboro Lights, whatever it was, said smoking is hazardous.
Really? I thought it was.
It wasn't as much.
65. In 65, the federal government mandated that cigarette packaging.
I was born in 66.
Right. Okay. See, so you figured if that was in 65 and people were smoking way before that,
and they didn't have the warning until then.
They didn't have the warning until 65.
But it did come
by
on
that
eventually.
time, So that was going to, well, not, it is happening already.
But cigarettes weren't what, again, when I was saying earlier about, I wonder if Skittles used, so same with tobacco. They probably didn't start out that way.
Right.
But as time went on and progressed, they did.
Right.
They changed over and they went over and they added stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Which is worse.
Yeah.
It's just,
what it is.
that's the point I'm trying to make. It's just, when you think about it, it's like asinine. Okay, I guess you want to make money and all that.
Right.
Really? To the point where you're just deliberately putting shit and stuff and not caring, just as long as you make the dollar.
Right.
And that's a sad thing.
That is a sad thing. But that's
where we are right now.
Yeah, that's the state of affairs.
That's right.
Yeah, and it just sucks.
Pay attention.
I'm hoping that, again, that people are going to actually, like you said, whether they're listening to us, whether they just, talking to somebody and like, oh no, the doctor just ends up getting through to them, you got to eat healthier. You have to exercise. Exercise, me personally, I'm not saying, and the doctors that don't say the same, don't get up and have to go to the gym and lift 150 pounds and squat 750. And, it's not that. The exercise is to get up and move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be sitting down all day long.
Yes.
If you are, get up, walk around.
Yeah, when you're at your desk.
I know it for sure.
Yeah, oh no, definitely. I feel the difference too. Yeah. But,
as far as back, having back issues and everything, don't make it worse.
Right. Get that
exercise. It's the best thing for it, actually.
You have to.
People think the opposite. Wait, sometimes when you get first hurt, obviously, you.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like the day or so. But they say not to stay in bed, to get up and walk. It's actually better for you. Right. Of course, I'm not talking if you fell out of a car at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, no. Yeah, wait till the cast comes
like
off.
You fell down on the ice or something, and you hurt yourself, but and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So, but
yeah, because when you sit still, when you're still, that's when you start to die. That's when your body stops to move.
That's what they say, and they say if loss of muscle.
Yep.
Again, it goes back to muscle too. They say if you don't keep your muscle mass up. It's not going to protect you. You're not going to have it. You get weaker and, you get fragile.
Yeah.
And shit happens.
Like I walk a lot at work.
So do I.
Get my steps in all day. Like we do
crazy
that,
steps, bro.
And I don't even know what mine are.
You're probably more than me, but I have almost 13,000.
Yeah. I'm probably around the same thing today because today was a slow day. You know what I mean? So, but still,
that's good, though.
it's the idea is just
Moving
to
around.
get up and move and stretch. People, we need to stretch. Sometimes when I forget, or I'll get that lazy moment, and
Well,
I
that's
don't
what we were
stretch.
saying earlier about
Holy
being
cow.
aware of certain things. So
Yeah,
that's why I like
dude.
talking about this topic because,
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
dude.
just the fact, you know, things you knew that you were eating the whole time. Again, like I said, we got to see if you can see when did companies start putting. Is there a question we can ask to figure out when the companies start changing their? Did they always use this recipe, or there's something, you know, like as
What,
far
for
as
the Skittles?
yeah,
All right. Well, geez, because you figure when GMOs, Tom was telling me, how long was it GMOs that they just started doing that? Like the last 10 years that they
Right.
started taking GMOs out. That's insane. Go ahead.
check it out. Lucky Charms, man.
Oh, Lucky Charms. That shit is
This
so
cereal
crazy.
contains artificial food coloring such as red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, which are linked to hyperactivity in children and other health concerns. These dyes are banned in Norway, Austria, and the EU. Requires warning labels on foods containing them.
That's crazy, bro.
All right, so they don't play around in Europe, and I love that about them. See, but remember, you know, you got to think in a lot of ways, Europe is ahead of us,
Right.
right?
Okay.
We're fairly young here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Think about history; it's not long. You
Right.
think about Europe, and you think about the places overseas.
Right.
They've been around for like almost forever,
Right. Yes.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they're smarter than us. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, no, we can't do this anymore. We got to
Right.
do it this way.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Right. Right. And well,
So
even
you know,
still,
but you know, we're still in our infancy, I believe, until
I don't
we
know if I
can have
wanna-
our own way.
But see, I don't want to say that ignorance is bliss. I don't want to go there, because for me, we still know what was in it. We still knew the things that they were putting in that weren't 100%.
Right.
Like even look at asbestos, right? Asbestos was supposed to be, fire retardant.
It was.
And all that other stuff.
worked
and everything was
beautiful.
Right. But then
But
people
it-
were dying for it.
Right, people who were mining it and people who were doing all that.
So it's like, they didn't think to cover your face. Coal miners are in there. They're digging at the
Right.
shit, and
No
they didn't wear
masks, no
masks or
nothing.
nothing, and they're in there.
Wait a minute, Wizard of Oz
Right.
with the snow scene.
Wait, the snow scene. Go ahead,
Yeah,
I'm listening.
when they're running to Oz,
Right.
and then the Wicked Witch does a thing, throws a potion out
Yeah.
over the top of her ball and everything, and then it starts snowing, and Dorothy falls asleep
Right.
because she said, "Oh, poppies," and
Right.
she did this whole thing, and then the other witch came in.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were saying that was a chemical, that it was something that was bad for them that they had in there. That's why I thought you were going with it. Because what I know from that, in the original Wizard of Oz.
but it was what you just said. I feel like an idiot. What the hell were we just talking about?
We're talking about the
Asbestos.
Asbestos,
Okay,
yes.
right.
I'm sorry.
Asbestos. They used asbestos for the snow scene. Is
Oh,
what I'm
no
saying.
shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you threw me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you threw me off. I'm like, wait, yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry. That was a funny
Jeff.
right there. Yeah. No, that's great. That's funny. But no, I think you're talking about because the paint that they used on the Green Witch was toxic.
Also, the Tin Man.
Right.
Tin Man.
Oh,
The
I'm sorry,
original,
yes,
the
Tin Man,
original
yes.
actor, from what I
Yes.
understand,
Right.
was allergic to it,
Yeah. That's
so they
right.
couldn't use
They
them.
couldn't use it all the time. They had to put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off.
The first guy had to go. He couldn't do it.
Oh,
They
there was
got
another
the
actor. I
second,
didn't know that.
Yes, he's not. Yes,
Oh.
the first one couldn't wear it,
No shish kebab.
but this one did.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. With
Yeah.
the stuff that, and now
Listen.
that you think about it now, so that's what I'm saying. It takes time, generations for people.
Right.
We need to figure things out. Hopefully, it'll be quicker because you figure as you progress,
Yeah. Right.
you come smarter than the last time.
Right.
Not necessarily
Well,
all the
dig it.
time.
So here, manufacturers, again, still on Google search stuff. Manufacturers became increasingly aware that certain ingredients used in their products were banned in other countries, particularly in the European Union, over the past few decades. As stricter regulations and consumer awareness regarding
Right.
food safety grew, leading more scrutiny and the additives and stuff that they put into the foods. So it's only been a few decades. So let's just say a few decades. So a few 3, 4, so in the last 40, 50 years.
Right. They've
is
been
when
putting shit in the
That's
food.
when they were that's when they stopped. That's when they realized that, oh shit, wait, you can't put this in there. But I bugged out. I couldn't believe how many things that I had found, and I'm not going to name all of them right now because I can't remember all of them. I just didn't do it now. Formaldehyde, bro. was in so many different things.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what? Arsenic? I'm like, what?
Yes.
Like all these things that and then when we meet the funny that we did that before with Tom in another episode, that cocaine was in Coca-Cola.
Back in the day.
Right. It's like when it first started because that was...
You were able to get cough medicine too with it, I think. And I think there was also a marijuana one too.
Yep.
Before because it wasn't illegal when it was first back in the day.
Because they didn't know what it was.
Then they made it illegal.
Right.
They put it, then they changed.
But you still have, we had tribes. So Native Americans, Indians overseas, just the Vikings and such. They were chewing on marijuana leaves.
Or coca leaves.
Or coca leaves from back when. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not just here in the States, all over the world. Tribes from back when were always doing this.
But they were doing it the natural way.
Right. So then
not that it was necessarily good if they were doing it all the time, but
right, no, and they did
a lot
do it all
of
the time
doing lines
because they knew, right,
day.
Exactly, but they didn't process it,
right,
so they didn't step on it enough to turn around or whatever. Exactly, they were just chewing on the leaf to get some of the effects, but just to help them get through the day. This guy, you see, yeah, that's the ticket. You see, dude, get me started.
I'm sorry, dude, but no, you're right, man.
Yeah, so that then all the things that we even see, like I said, even as far as natural drugs. So I said, so the marijuana, the poppy seeds and stuff like that,
right?
Poppy plants, I'm sorry, things like that. Those are all things that all natural in super moderation,
changed and modified,
right? They helped you out,
enhanced.
Exactly. These were things. The shrooms, eating shrooms was a whole different thing than what it is we know now outside. As far as drugs are concerned, not food.
But now it's more a positive thing because of what they do and what they help for people now. Because if they use psychedelics now. Before it was just to do it. People still do it to have fun with, obviously.
Right. But it's because you can use
because it does help. That's what I'm saying.
Use drugs to help with the medical issues when it's done in the right way, like anything else.
But if it's too expensive, it goes back to the same question.
Then it goes and that's a whole other episode.
Right? No, I know. No, I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but I keep saying I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, but you do see more of it now, right? Now you see people microdosing and you go to therapy for it.
Right,
You can order it and you have to do a whole thing. That already means it's working its way. Right. Well, it's eventually going to get better and better as it goes. Remember when computers first came out?
Oh, yeah, right. Nobody wanted to freaking use them. Everybody was scared of them.
Right, when they got the towers, right? Yeah, and everybody's like, they were so expensive. Now you can buy a computer for barely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But going to the shrooms and stuff, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the darker side of life, I guess we'll say, keep it light, but they were experimenting on people using the psychedelic drugs and the all drugs as they just experimented on people, gave them different doses to see what it would do to them. You know what I mean? It was people of all colors, races, and religions.
Yeah, no, it's
you know what I mean?
They test shit all the time. People always volunteer and they make money doing it.
And the people make money doing it.
That's what I'm saying. The people make
the manufacturers.
No, I meant the people who do it. You can make money doing that.
Yeah, don't suggest it, man. Because listen, this is something I'm not going to say.
But not just anything. We're just saying, hey, if you didn't know that, you do now.
Yep. If you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know. That's it.
If you don't know, now you know.
But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I'm glad that governments as a whole, more quote unquote influencers as a whole, social media and stuff, doctors, they're learning things and they're spreading the word.
Well, different. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Just spreading the word. Listen, be careful of these, look out for those. And then as we start to hear from different places, we do our own research. And we're like, oh my God, that's what it is. Dude, I love me some spaghetti. Okay.
Right.
The red sauce, mamma mia. But it gives me a headache. It contributes because of the acid that's in it contributes to the heartburn.
So you got to check the sauce now.
So
is it jar sauce?
It's
you make your own
I
sauce.
Prego and ragu kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I've never made my own sauce, but when I eat red sauce, like say in a meatball hero, I'll get a headache. Right. The acid kicks my ass for the acid reflux.
See, that's true. So you should look at it and see what's in
that's what I'm saying. So I have to look it up now to figure it out.
Absolutely.
But again, I'm at the age point in my life where I'm like, geez, I really do have to read every single label.
You do because it's the system is overwhelmed. Everybody wants to get their product out there.
Right.
They want you to have it. Yeah. So they're all going to take the shortcut. Some I shouldn't say all. There are others that are out there. It's they're working
Right.
their way through nice
Right.
because
Right.
they've known
because
it's natural and they don't use as much or nearly as much as these guys do.
Yeah.
And they try to go the right way so you know it's healthy. You can take it and eat it, and whatever it might be.
Well, even the chicken. Think of how many of the chicken commercials that we've seen back in the day, where now they're telling you in the commercials, we're not putting this, we're not using that.
Right. They say they're trying to let you know
they're
that
letting you know
they're grass fed,
right?
But not necessarily is that always the truth. I'm sure there's a couple that have, I think, been found where they would say that, but they actually weren't doing it.
Yeah, you see, that's why I'm like, but that's
so
where
just
trust
because it's
comes
on
in.
the label doesn't necessarily
Exactly.
mean that that's what they're doing.
Doesn't mean that at all.
And that's the thing. Why are they allowed to put it on the label if they're not allowed? If they're not doing it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So at some point, someone's got to call them out on it, and I would think, imagine that it would be turned over and say, "Yeah, you got to. You can't say that. You have to be like,
Well, no, I know it's a matter. I guess it's like anything else. It's how many people are on the job to be able to go and do the spot checks to make sure that they're not putting all these things into the food.
Well, right, because they have to make right. I'm sure once they find out and they figure it out, they go like, no,
right. It's one of those things,
Right.
Again, I guess it's
if you're not doing it, you have to say you're not doing it, or you just
You
don't say it, and you don't say it at all.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. And we saying, like, we talk about the people overseas. They like you said, they were here. They've been around longer. They've checked, and seen, and
the life
been a part
experience
of
over
that.
there is way more ahead of us.
Yeah.
as far
Oh,
as,
dude. Yeah.
it probably would be almost equal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, in the sense of where would we think of it this way? I have this thing that I always say in my head. Imagine if what happened if this country worked with the American Indian when it came instead of it turning out the way it did, and think of it where we melded in and we're still going in the same direction, but both are working together to get there, right?
Okay. All right.
You're not invading some place. You're not kicking them out. You're not, whatever.
Right.
Imagine where it could be. Imagine what it would be like if they, just progressed that way rather than going the way that they did.
Do you think that then you think the food would be quote unquote cleaner?
I think I would hope things would be more about
Healthy.
taking care of each other.
Oh, okay.
Versus,
yeah.
worrying about who's going to make more or what,
Yeah.
and who's going, cheating their stuff.
Yeah.
Where it would be more, they would be more senseless about. They would be more
sensitive
to it. Know
I
it.
get you.
And
I
they would
get
think
you.
about it.
Yeah.
I think
I can see that.
You would think so. It's something I always think in my head. It's a weird thing, but
Yeah.
but it's when you think about it. Imagine if it maybe on another timeline. We already did that, so it's possible on another timeline somewhere that's actually happening.
That's freaking hilarious, man. That is freaking hilarious. I'll agree with that. I do believe, switching up a little bit, I do believe that if our cultures as a planet melded a little bit better, it
would definitely help everything, and it will. They'll get again. It goes hand in hand with all that stuff, right? Yeah. Because then everybody kind of is in the same place, almost,
right?
And everybody's like, no, we got to do this. We can't keep doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And then everybody just works together. But like I said, it's going to take time.
But
it's definitely going in that direction.
Yeah.
But what Tom does, and then all the other people who
there's other activists as a whole.
Activists that go out there, and I'm thankful for them.
Oh yeah, I appreciate them all the time.
We all have our certain things. Unfortunately, we don't do. We're only human.
Yeah, no,
we're doing the best we can.
I can't say what my vices, like what my activism is all about.
No, we don't have one. That's it. I mean, but I'm sure there's certain things just in general. But we it's good that it's going and people are paying attention to it and people are going in that direction, be a little bit more, people are being more open with themselves now and not worrying about what people think and being who they are and things like that. Right. So it's kind of going. It's being. Hopefully, it'll get more accepted and things. People will just be like, all right, whatever, man. It's really no big deal.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. With you. Yeah. I again, like you said, riding on your coattail with that, the world coming together and
hopefully,
and doing that.
Otherwise,
I think that
we are technically our own worst enemy, as they would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
but I think that. Go ahead.
The foods, though, in general. So now, like you said earlier, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we need to look at what we buy. Like Tanya and I, we do more sourdough bread now than we do regular bread.
Dude, yeah.
Because it's so much better for you.
But now what's the difference though?
It's because of the way it's actually, it's a bacteria, it grows. It's a whole process. We'll have to talk to Tanya about that and have her on and explain it to us. I don't want to say exactly, but it's much better for you. If you could do it, whether it's, if you like pretzels and shit like that, you can get them in that, you just check it out. So there are alternatives. They're all coming out.
But how does it taste?
Oh, good. I love sourdough.
See, but like I like potato bread. And I don't even eat bread like I used to, but I love potato bread.
Well, no, I don't know if potato bread is bad for you or good for you.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm saying like the taste, as far as the taste is concerned.
I think the taste is good.
The taste of like
sourdough is good.
See, I'm gonna put you on the spot though. Is the sourdough bread better tasting than potato bread?
I'm not a big potato bread fan.
Oh, get out! You know what? I'm off this. No. I'm leaving you. I don't want to talk to you. No.
I haven't had potato bread in like God. It's got to be over 20 years.
Really, bro? Yeah. Oh, dude, I love potato bread. On a burger or with a burger? Dude,
I haven't had the urge to go, hey, you could go for some potato bread.
Oh, dude, I do, bro. Oh, dude, I do. Well, no, then I'm gonna have to check into the sourdough bread and whatnot.
Each brand has it tastes different, obviously.
Right,
so don't expect one.
Definitely.
It's the same thing with cupcakes and all that other shit.
Right, I'm sure.
But and you can even get those more in the natural area. There's stuff out there that's coming out. People doing it.
Yeah,
companies. They're starting to. You see it happening, so hopefully it just keeps going in that right direction.
So I got to get with Tom with a lot of that stuff because he's the one he's the quote unquote foodie. You know what I'm saying? The vegan stuff. So then it's like to hear what is not in the food is what I'm meaning.
And he loves food because Tom has told me before where he's gone. I actually believe he went to cooking school if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did. Yes,
for a little while. And then he had other things going on, so he had to, he couldn't finish it off. But nevertheless, the man still loves food, and he knows a lot of stuff about
That's what I'm saying. To get actually sit with him and be like, yo, dude, what's up with this? How's that? What does this look like? This way he can at least point me in the right direction with a lot of that stuff. Maybe we even do an episode on that, for him to, to get a healthy food, I guess, a search with Tom.
I think it's the same thing. The only difference is you're going to just subtract the things that you can't have anymore. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can't have meat and dairy. And if you do, it has to be certain. It has to
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about how to look to in companies as far as just the bad stuff that they put in the food. You know what I'm saying? Like we said before in the beginning with the steroids in the animals, the grass fed and things like that. Like he knows about a lot of that stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear what some of the chemicals that they may put in, that. Well,
we could always look that up, but we didn't. We unfortunately we've come close to us ending, but they're doing that with the chicken and all of that stuff now. It's a chicken from when we got one back in the day, bro. That chicken's on. He's on roids. My boy was pumping before he came. Yeah, he was like buff. Right.
Back up.
So, but I like that we did this one. This is a good one because everybody
can relate in some way.
Well, they eat. Everybody eats.
Yeah.
So now they know.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for some people when they went and do decide, maybe it'll be easy, maybe it won't. Like it's the same with the cigarettes. You quit smoking, I quit smoking. Yeah. So if you can do it, whatever your vice is, just kick that shit to the curb, man. You do something else. If you can do it, fine. If not, hey, que sera, sera.
Yeah. Whatever will be,
will be.
And with that, we're going to say
good night, my
love,
friend.
Peace, and hair grease. Okay, good night. Do that one.
Well,
good night, my friend.
Go ahead.
So, love, peace, and hair grease. Thank you for listening.
Live long and prosper.
And for
Tom, go vegan.
Holla.